movie, Black Panther, made $700 million here in the States. What did you think seeing that cultural impact happening?
One of my biggest highlights is just seeing the kids react to it, you know, seeing themselves on screen, looking up to you, you know, dressing up as, you know, Black Panther or Killmonger or the, you know, Dora Milaje. It was a sense of pride, you know, so to see this movie affect, you know, the community and the culture the way it did, it's truly incredible.
Your character in Black Panther, he's a villain, but there's a lot of gray area, he's very complex. You find it necessary to relate to the characters that you play?
Killmonger, you know, Eric has a point of view and a perspective of his upbringing. You know, he's a product of his environment. That conversation between him and T'Challa, I think, is extremely important, one that has never really been had before.
Just bury me in the ocean with my ancestors that jumped from the ships, because they knew death was better than bondage.
Growing up in systemic oppression versus growing up with, you know, culture, an environment, a tribe around you that's growing you up, grooming you for positivity in an impactful way. And you can see what happens if you don't have those things early on in your life. So for me, I think Eric's conversation is definitely valid and makes strong points. He's extremely passionate about it. You have to understand that it's also a Marvel film also, you know, and there's a lot of there's a lot of finesse that you have to bring fantasy and reality into it, and also being able to portray, you know, real life. So I think Eric was kind of like a 360 version of that.
Victor Drago, son of Ivan Drago, who infamously killed Apollo Creed, appeared today to issue a challenge to Adonis Creed.
Let's talk a little bit about Creed 2. Where is Adonis psychologically going into this film compared to where he was at the beginning of the first film?
The second film is always the toughest to make it bigger, you know, but still stay true to character, tone, and the relationships that we formed in the first film. You know, Rocky and Adonis's relationship is, you know, only going to grow and become stronger. With any relationship, you have ups and downs, so, you know, there's always going to be some conflict here and there.
I ain't got a choice.
That's the same thing your father said, and he died right here in my hands.
I think family is something extremely important to him, something that he never really had, something that he was always searching for. So Adonis starts to build his own tribe a little bit, and how I sacrifice in order to help support her. You know, in the same breath, she supported me in my journey as well. So just to show what that relationship is like for young millennials nowadays and what real love is like, I think it's something that needs to be seen on screen, and we wanted to elevate that.
I have 2 words to leave with you tonight, ladies and gentlemen: inclusion. Rider.
Let's talk a little bit about your company, Outlier Society. It was the first to adopt the inclusion rider.
Yes.
After Frances McDormand dropped that on the Oscars. Are you finding that that's difficult to implement? Is it easier to implement than you would think?
It's second nature to me. I was like, oh, there's an inclusion rider. There's something formal that I could actually implement to make sure this happens. Oh yeah, no brainer, because I was going to do that anyway, you know? So the fact that there is a structure, that there is something there that I can actually, you know, kind of ensure that that's going to happen, especially on any production that Outlier Society does, that is going to ensure that's going to happen, then, you know, sign me up.
You're reaching a place where you can try to make that happen on these bigger blockbusters that you might be a part of.
There's really smart studios, you know, there's, you know, some smart executives, very progressive, that feel the exact same way. So it's not a lot of resistance, you know. I think it's just catching up everybody with the times, you know, and getting everybody on board that this is evolution and this is the right thing to do.